Welcome to Novice to Master.
What's up? Welcome back to Novice to Master. Today we're joined by a friend of mine and a previous guest multiple times, Vamsi Pannala. He's here, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the projects he's got working on right now. How are you doing, Vamsi?
Hey Greg, how are you?
Pretty good, man.
Hey, thanks. I really love coming back to your podcast because I still remember. I think the first episode, second episode of Novice to Master was our episode. So I still fondly remember coming on your podcast, and those were days where I was really struggling. Not that I'm making tons of money or I have really seen a lot of success right now, but it's really a very good situation, a better situation than what I was when compared to our first episode. So yeah, I'm really cherishing all those moments of our first episode. So really feeling happy to be back on the episode again.
Glad to have you back on, man. Yeah, I remember that was quite a while ago, actually.
Oh yeah, I think almost probably 8 months,
At
8 9 months.
least,
Yeah.
yeah. That was nuts, man. I remember when you came on. It was kind of funny. You were actually you could tell. I mean, I hadn't settled into what I was doing, and I know you were kind of nervous when you got on too. So it was kind of. I mean, it was only. I think it was actually like third or fourth episode. So
Yeah,
for both of us, it was a pretty new thing, which was pretty cool.
exactly. That's what I actually remember it as well. I think under the first 5 episodes for sure.
Yeah, yeah. It was a good time though, man. It was definitely fun. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that was the one we ran real long though. I think it was like an hour and a half or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. But it was a really good conversation. Considering that we both were traveling in the same boat. You had your own share of struggles. You were trying to figure out something for your own self. I was trying to figure out something of my own, and that kind of stories is what really really makes you the entrepreneur that you are. So yeah, I still really love the conversation. It was a long conversation. I still remember, but it was a really good one.
Yeah, actually, last time I checked, which I haven't looked over the stats in a while, I think that was still my highest listened to episode
Oh
out of
wow.
all of them. Yeah, I don't know if I ever told you that. You actually ranked really high on that one episode.
Oh,
It was like,
you just made my day. You just made my day. Thank you so much.
I hope
Even if
so.
it's not, I think, I think if I recall what we spoke, it was a really nice, stories about the kind of struggles that we both were going through. So yeah, I'm sure a lot of people would have loved what we individually had to share with the kind of journeys that we were taking ahead.
Yeah, I definitely think it really gives somebody, who's starting out something to relate to because of the fact that this is, I mean, it's kind of like swimming out into the ocean. It's just such a big, wide, vast set of opportunities everywhere. And when you start out, you're kind of grabbing at this one and then that one and then this one and that one and not focusing. And I think seeing other people who are coming into that point of the journey is always beneficial for anyone and everyone.
Exactly. Yeah. See, look at both of us, right? So from the time we did our last episode to versus what we are doing, we have probably come a long way. So that's probably is the fruit of living your dream, not giving up in between, and trying to still do that hustle, put in the work. That really gets you the results. I think probably we are both examples for people who are currently kind of starting out or um, mulling over to starting out, do something on their own. So yeah, I think if you put in the work, don't give up on your dreams, uh, pick up something, go deep, results will come even if you don't want to.
Definitely, which that actually brings me up to one of the things that we wanted to talk about today. I don't know. I know I've seen quite a bit of what you've had out there for it, but some of the some of the ads and the posts and all that, including the one with me in it, which I was again, thanks for having me on and inviting me to speak at it. But that was one of the things I wanted to talk about today was the marketing summit.
Yeah. So yeah, in fact, it was a pleasure to have you on Impact Marketing Summit. You were always there from the day I had my list of dream speakers that I wanted to invite, because you are one of those very few people who I share my journey with. Seen all the hustles that you as an individual entrepreneur trying to do, like what I was planning, what I was going through at that point. So you saw some kind of success with copywriting, which has always been something that you have been looking from day one of our conversation. So yeah, it was always my pleasure to have you as one of the speakers on my summit. But interesting enough, the whole idea of doing Impact Marketing Summit came out when I was on my sixth try within the last 14 months of doing whatever I kind of tried doing. I started off with affiliate marketing, if you recall.
Mhm.
We were both trying to be affiliates of ClickFunnels, trying to sell one funnel away challenge, sell a few .com secrets, expert secrets. But I realized that affiliate is a long game, and I didn't really had the luxury of waiting to see my first dollar for the next 6 months. So I kind of gave up on that. Then went into learning funnel designing with Catherine Jones, CF Design School. I kind of completed 4 challenges, only to realize that I don't have a design bone in me. So I left it in the midway. And then I tried my hand at helping a few organizations who approached me after looking at my 66 days of a trot that I went on live summarizing .com secrets and expert secrets. Interesting enough, that was something that I thought I found what I was supposed to be doing as an entrepreneur. But interesting enough, again, people who wanted to take my help in their marketing activities, they wanted me to do everything under the hat of marketing, but they didn't have any budgets. They wanted to work at very low rates, and that was something which I was not ready to do. So because I don't this is not a side hustle that I was doing. This is something that I was trying to look up for my bread and butter. So I had to give it up in the midway. Then I got into a direct sales opportunity with a German based medical device, which I still have, by the way. But being a high ticket product itself, this whole thing was supposed to be a product that people have to experience it to know exactly what it does. But as my luck has, I have always run out. COVID just came in and kicked all of us. So this is a product that people have to experience, as I mentioned. So there's no way that people would want to come and experience it, because the social distancing was at the all-time high. And I had to give up on that. And then I was trying at starting my own social media agency. And that is during that course when I was playing badminton with my wife one day, because there was lockdown every single place on the earth that you can think of. And I was regularly playing badminton with my wife on my rooftop. And suddenly on 27th of April at 5:30, I still remember the date and time, because that kind of changed my life as I see it right now. So I thought, hey, I have networked with so many people in the past 12 months, and these are people who know their shit. They have done a lot of good stuff for themselves. They are 6 7 figure entrepreneurs. Why should I not just go and ask them if they would be interested in coming on a virtual summit? And if you see today, there is almost like 3 4 virtual summits every single week. And I'm talking about the time where the only virtual summits that I know was either the 30-day summit or the affiliate bootcamp. That's it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let me just go and ask. There's nothing wrong in going and asking something that people can still end up saying no. There's nothing surprising to me. So I came back at 7:22 to my room, and I started messaging. I still remember by 11 o'clock in the night, my time, I had 10 people accepting to be on my virtual summit, and you were one of them, right?
Yeah.
So that was a eureka moment for me, simply because if you ask me, Greg, today, Vamsi, what will be that one key takeaway after doing so much that I have done for the Impact Marketing Summit, right from shortlisting what kind of speakers I want to have on my summit, to doing the cold outreach, getting them on my summit, recording them at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock my time in the morning. A lot of people absconding, then coming back. A lot of follow up with each one of them, because there's nothing that I'm complaining, because I honestly shortlisted people who are really busy. They are making that 6 7 figures in their business, so obviously they expected that they would be busy. But with every single obstacle that I'm kind of now clearing up, and I've launched Impact Marketing Summit as we kind of recording this. One of the biggest learning is that you should always go and ask for help. You should definitely go and ask for help, irrespective of whether it is Tony Robbins, whether it is Russell Brunson, Steve Larson, whoever, I mean, is your dream speaker or person that you look up to, right?
Hmm.
The worst case scenario is that they will say no.
Yeah.
That's it. That's like is the worst case scenario. So with that little hope, I went, I started doing the cold outreach to each one of them that I know. I really wanted them to be on a marketing summit like what I was doing. And look where it is. It has 34 world class marketing experts who came. And this is not a summit like the other summits that you are seeing, Greg, simply because this is not something people who have come and spoken have churned out their existing content, a presentation that they have already created for something else. They just came and presented it on my summit because someone named Vamsi Pannala just wanted them to be interviewed on a summit, and they just came with that existing presentation. You would not believe, I'm not saying everyone did a new presentation, but
Hmm.
of the 34 speakers, I think 28 speakers have come up with a unique content. And this is not something that they have come and spoken some random stuff what they are doing. They made it a point to share their exact blueprints on what have worked for them, that has helped them become a successful entrepreneur. And that is exactly what is the theme of the summit. The question I asked was, what is that one marketing strategy that helped you become a successful entrepreneur? So someone talked about YouTube marketing, like Anthony Ambrose, who helps people like Neil Patel, Dan Henry, Spencer Meekum. That guy spoke about his YouTube marketing strategy, which he sells inside his course. And today if you go and check, it is $5,000. So he just talked about his YouTube strategy inside Impact Marketing Summit. If you go and talk about Steve Larson, he talked about the new age marketing. Why he doesn't see a difference between new age marketing and old age marketing. Some of the nuggets that he dropped was simply mind blowing. So everyone has come up with unique content, and there are speakers like David Valdi, who followed up with a person like me, who is not even a brand, has not made his single dollar online, asking me if that content that he's coming up will make any sense to the kind of audience that I'm trying to promote. No one has to do it, but they made it a point that they are coming up with something which is very unique for this marketing summit. And that is the reason why I'm so proud of doing this, because each of those 34 speakers, if I include myself, that is 35. So each of them has shared their blueprint, and it's just not random stuff that they have come and blabbered on this marketing summit. And that really makes this summit a special one, you know.
That's good, man. That's one thing, everybody sees a lot of the content they come out with. So the fact that it's original is definitely, good for what this is. I know a few of the speakers I personally know, like Jason Wright. Actually, some of the people listening to this will recognize a few of the names because some of them have already been on here. Um, but yeah, I know I get to see a clip of Jason from your advertisements. I think it was on Instagram, and
If I have to give out a shout out to anyone, inside those 34 speakers, barring you, because you had your own share of help that you have rendered while I was putting out Impact Marketing Summit. But Jason probably, and you recommended him, and I simply took that recommendation as seriously as I take your other recommendations. But Jason was like a brother from another mother. He was so helpful. If I have to give a shout out to him on this episode, I just really want to thank him for everything that he has done for me, for helping me launch Impact Marketing Summit, because my journey has been just obstacles and nothing else. In terms of how I look at it, from April 27 to the time I launched Impact Marketing Summit, it was just obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. So there were certain things where I was like really stranded, like in the middle of an island, have no one to help, and he has come to my help a lot of times, and not just Jason for that matter. In fact, CF Power Scripts, the guy who runs CF Power Scripts, Christian Ronwall, he has been a lot of help. So everyone that I've kind of got them as speakers on the summit, they were so generous, so helpful enough to know that I'm doing something like this for the first time. And probably they were more visionary in terms of looking at how bigger a thing that I have taken up, trying to become an entrepreneur. They saw how the kind of scale of the summit that I was doing, and they probably knew that I may need help, and they extended it even before I even asked for them. So
It's awesome.
I think when people say that summits are the way to go to be able to make yourself an authority in your niche, I can't agree anything more than that. Today I can ping those 34 people at any time in my day and ask for a help, and they would not say no. So that's the kind of relationship I have gained with, even look at people like Doug Barton, Alan Dean, Jason Wright, Reem Karbat, Casey Brown, Kathy Walls, Ace Reddy. These are some of the biggest names in the kind of fraternity that we are in, and I can now just go and talk to them. And I was the same guy before April 27th, when I did an outreach and I invited them to be a speaker on my summit. I was the same guy who used to jump on those Facebook groups when I saw that these people are being interviewed by those respective group owners. Like any good student, I used to go, even if it is 1:30 a.m., 2 a.m. my time, because you guys are all in the US and I'm in the other part of the world. I just jump on those lives, learn whatever I could learn, and suddenly one fine day I'm actually interviewing them. And I would never believe that I would be able to talk to them one on one in such a short span. People probably would take ages to maybe interview people like Steve Larson. And see, lucky me, I just I could have never asked for a right time to get Steve Larson on a summit like this. Especially when he's so busy building his new office, trying to build a lot of new offers during the COVID period. So everything I think happened for a reason. And this is exactly from where I want to build. I want to be known as the guy of virtual summits. If anyone tomorrow wants to do their own virtual summits, want to establish themselves as an authority in their niche within 90 days, I can I can with world of confidence say that there is no other methodology out there apart from virtual summits that can put you as a authority inside your niche within 90 days. And that's the blueprint that I am preparing with all my experience of putting Impact Marketing Summit. I already have a few people signed up to get coaching, a one-on-one coaching call with me to get this entire blueprint, teach, taught to them. And that's exactly what I'm doing right now.
Right on. That's awesome, man. So it sounds like when you said it, once you got it set up, it kind of fell into place as to becoming a blueprint as to what you do.
Yeah, so I've put in the work. I have not cheated the process. I didn't go from A to D to G to R to Z. I went from A, B, C, D, E, F.
Yeah.
So I took, probably I think the nature also conspired me to go through like that, because if I had jumped certain processes, I would have probably not learned what I've learned today. So I that way I think I'm blessed. I've always seen each of them as an obstacle, but when I go back and see what I have done for the last 90 days, I
Mhm.
think I really cherish the journey. I mean, those nights, there was not a single night I would go to bed before 4 o'clock my time. And before getting into doing Impact Marketing Summit, my usual time would be around 11:30, 12 o'clock, not beyond that. So that's been a kind of journey. It's been a really a roller coaster ride. And people, when people always say that, I've gone through a roller coaster ride, I really didn't know what they exactly meant, but I actually experienced it in the last 90 days, and it's been some rough ride, but a ride that was really worth riding through. Yeah.
That's awesome. No, that's definitely awesome to see you kind of step out to, your plan and watch it
Yes.
unfold. And
Yeah. Yeah.
it's great. So now you talked a little bit about some of the speakers off of it. And you and I have talked before about some of the ones that were there.
True.
What was probably your biggest takeaway from the whole thing? Like, I mean, as far as what was taught to you, what was the thing and or speaker that was the most, connect?
So I'm sure I'm not sure how many of the audience who are listening to this episode right now have read .com secrets. But if you know the topic of attractive character,
Mhm.
there is one attractive character called the reporter,
Yeah.
right? So the biggest takeaway for me after doing Impact Marketing Summit was, you don't have to be a guru. You don't need to have a PhD in a subject to talk about something. And kind of, if you want to teach something to someone, you don't have to be an expert of it. You can still get all those people who you believe have the knowledge in the niche that you are in right now,
Hmm.
get them on a summit like what I have done, and you be the reporter. Just be that person who people can look up to, where they can say to themselves that, okay, if Vamsi got someone from this particular niche, I'm sure he's the best in the business. Or
Yeah.
something, if it's copywriting, then you probably get the best of the copywriters that in your fraternity. Get them on a common platform like a virtual summit. Let them share whatever their experience has been, and that is like the world of knowledge. One of the reasons why I also did Impact Marketing Summit, Greg, is because from day one, when I decided that I want to become an entrepreneur, for the OCD that I have, I always worked with some of the experts. My ex bosses have always been experts of what they did, and that word experts have been really rooted deep into my head. So whenever I looked up, to learn from someone, I always wanted to be that person, to be an expert. So when I started my journey, because of the shiny object syndrome that I was suffering from, I had chased it like there is no tomorrow. I probably took every single course out there, opted into every single email ID that you can think of. Every single person that has an email list, my email ID should be there with them. And I brought courses worth $4,000, and some of them I didn't even open it till date. So in a way, it kind of turned out to be a boon as well. But what eventually it that did to me is, I was able to differentiate who is an expert of that particular subject and who is not. That really helped me in identifying what kind of people should come and talk on my first summit, which was in the Impact Marketing Summit, right?
Hmm.
So this probably it was my biggest key takeaway. If today I'm not an expert of something, that shouldn't stop my dream of becoming an entrepreneur. I can probably take my own time to become an expert of a particular subject, but in the meantime, can I go and leverage expertise of other people who have already taken the path that I am currently taking, who have already uh, you know seen success for whatever they define what success is for them.
Hmm.
And if I can bring those people, talk and share their experiences, there are tons of people like me out there. Believe me, there are tons of people like me out there who don't know what kind of people they should be learning from, what kind of things they should be doing, the do's and don'ts of getting into the entrepreneurial journey that they probably want to get on that bandwagon. So one of the things that I really thought when I was doing Impact Marketing Summit is, can I bring those people that I believed are the experts of the business that they are doing, so that at least, if not the thousands of experts that probably I can do, but at least a handful of people to begin with, so that people like me who are out there trying to learn from the experts themselves have first-hand access. They have access to the blueprints that I was talking about, what they have presented inside the summit, the systems that they are using. something that is not publicly available right now. I can say with 100% confidence, Greg, that some of the content that each of the speakers, including you, I'm sure you never talked about the copy mistakes people are doing when they are writing the copy for their own funnels and for their own businesses. I never saw that you put out a content like that in public. Every single person out there who have come and presented on Impact Marketing Summit, it was genuine, and it was something that they really wanted to contribute to the summit. And it was, as I mentioned, it was not something that they wanted to come and blabber and go. So for people who would get access to Impact Marketing Summit, okay, I'm really not trying to sell, but what I'm trying to say with what I'm trying to say is that people who get access to Impact Marketing Summit, it's the blueprints of those 34 speakers of what they have presented. Each one of them had dropped a golden nugget, which I personally thought, because the best thing for me, Greg, during Impact Marketing Summit was I was just not a host of the summit.
Hmm.
I'm a marketer myself. So when people like Steve, when people like Marley, people like Gabe Schillinger, people like Doug, Alan Dean, Ace Reddy, any of those 34 speakers that I can name right now, they were teaching a topic on marketing, which is basically what my niche is.
Yeah.
And I was blown away with whatever they were presenting inside the summit. For me, at times I forgot that I was actually a host. I was supposed to be asking them questions because I was in the aura of what they were presenting, and I had to kind of wake me up myself, saying that, hey, you are supposed to be asking them questions, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of stuff that has been covered inside the summit. So I'm really happy the way it has come out. So so people who have currently already have access to it, I'm sure that they are really loving the content. And personally, it's not even about how big a success is Impact Marketing Summit or not. Today I can proudly say that I'm on a mission to help at least 100 entrepreneurs in the next 12 months of what I want to see right now, to help them become an authority in their niche within 90 days using the power of virtual summits. That's exactly what I want to teach people. Because when I saw, when I've already taken that path, and today people are already calling me that you have an authority in virtual summits, I take it with a pinch of humility. But what I also see is that there are a lot of people who are really knowledgeable in what they are doing, but their content, their products, or their service is not taken seriously, is for one simple reason: because they're not an authority in their niche.
Yeah.
People don't give a shit if you're not an authority. How much good you can be, how much experience you have, how much of expertise that you can probably have with your product or service. If you are not an authority, the kind of output that you want, that your products or services to get, if you go to a Facebook live, there's no one watching it.
Yeah.
Maybe you are probably saying some of the stuff that the world probably has to listen to, but no one is there because you're not an authority. So I really want to help all those people who really want to put out their content, put out their expertise, put out whatever they have learned in whatever professionally, personally they have learned. If they can do just one virtual summit, they don't have to do 100 virtual summits. If they can just do virtual summit with even 10 speakers, I probably went overboard with 34 people, but you don't have to do with 35 people or 34 people. If you can get 10 of the biggest names inside your niche,
Hmm.
and let them talk their own perspectives around one particular topic, that would help you stand out as an authority. I would not say you become a Tony Robbins of inside a life coach niche,
Yeah.
but you would at least be known around those 15-20 speakers that you have got them as speakers on your summit. Because those 15-20 people would probably talk indirectly about being on a virtual summit which you hosted, and all the audience who are following those 15-20 influencers will automatically know about you. So your authority suddenly just pumps up like 100% within a few weeks of time, which you probably would have never got with any other methodology or blueprint out there in the market. That's the power of a virtual summit as I see it right now.
Awesome. Yeah, that I could definitely see, the fact that it establishes you as, the not just expert, maybe even specialist in some ways, because of
Yeah,
the fact that not only did you gather all these people together and get them to come speak, but you've also everything that they had to teach, you've already learned. I
exactly.
mean, and again, going back to when you were talking about being in, the aura of what they were teaching, I could imagine that, especially, some of them, it was probably just, wow, I can't believe we're doing this. Wow. Like Steve Larson, probably, a lot of people
Yeah, I
love
mean,
Steve Larson as for,
for me, when Steve was on my laptop screen, right, on the other side, I really had to pinch myself, because that was one guy who I really looked up right from the days of doing One Funnel Away challenge. This was
hmm
in May 2019, right?
yeah,
That was where my first $100 was spent online, and I truly cherish whatever I learned. Even today, I think some of the stuff that I probably know, or I share it with the kind of people who, with the little following that I have right now. I think it's an output of what I've learned from One Funnel Away challenge. And the moment I see Steve in front of me, and he talks to me as if we already know each other from years, that kind of gives you a world of confidence, right? So
yeah,
those kind of moments is something that I cherish. And imagine this, that's like a very sweet moment, right? For example, if you look up for someone in the copywriting space that you have always learned from and wanted to always have a close vicinity with that person, and suddenly he shows up on your show, and you're talking to him. You never thought you would even have a messenger chat, exchange messages with him, and suddenly you're talking to him one on one.
yeah.
Imagine the kind of feeling that you would be going through. And that's probably only possible with virtual summits that I see it right now. Or maybe an interview that you probably invite them if you have a group of 1,000, 1,500 people, because they obviously want a new audience when they want to come and spend their valuable time. If they could have done anything else, they are kind of giving you that half an hour, 40 minutes to come on your show and share their knowledge, obviously. But if not a private show inside your Facebook group, a virtual summit is what they would be definitely interested in. So for them, it's coming in front of new audience, because every marketer, irrespective of whether it is Russell Brunson, Steve Larson, Marley Jacks, Akbar Sheikh, whoever you're talking about, they would need new set of audience to showcase their market, showcase their products and services. So that is what is the opportunity of people like me when they invite them on a virtual summit. you know Everyone inside your niche is looking for new audience.
Mm,
So for them, if you say that, hey, and one of the things that when I, in fact, even with knowing you from almost like 9 months now, 9-10 months now, when I did my cold outreach, I said I'm a marketer from India. And suddenly, when all these people, when they saw that, okay, this guy is a marketer from India, if I'm going on a virtual summit, what he's hosting, maybe I'm going to get a new audience who are Indians, right?
hmm
People who just figure out who is Russell Brunson, who is Steve Larson, who is Madley Jacks is a different thing when they come and buy your own products. But someone like me in India who is consciously taking your presentation and putting in front of a new audience by organic marketing, paid marketing, Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, whatever, you're
hmm
suddenly getting a new set of audience to showcase your products and services. And that's like the oxygen for every single marketer out there in whatever they are doing. That there was like the best thing that has happened for me. Just that one sentence when I wrote that I'm a marketer from India, I think personally, maybe I should probably send you my entire outreach copy to you. You probably should see and tell me what was the best part of that copy, why it worked the way it worked. I mean, my conversion rate, Greg, if you should know, I sent it to almost around 65-70 people. Some of them were very clear from day one that they couldn't do it, not because they didn't want it to come on my summit, but they already had their calendars blocked for certain activities that they wanted to. But 1 in 3 were accepting to be on my summit.
That's pretty good
So
turnaround,
I
right?
I believe I believe that the copy has something to do with it. So but that's basically how the whole thing has turned out in my favor. So I feel really lucky on that note, for that matter.
I think another thing that probably helped a lot was a lot of us, it doesn't matter who you learn from, but if you learn from Russell, Steve, any of that, one of the main things that you learn is, doing stuff like this, like the summit or going on podcasts with other people, it gets you in front of a whole new audience, just like you were saying. And we all have that up here. And one of the ways that Steve put it is, if you remember from One Funnel Away, is that all of these people doing marketing, they love to talk about themselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we are marketers, right?
Yeah.
There's no shame about talking about our product. There's no shame about telling the world that this is something that you can buy from me. If you shy away from doing it, then you're not a marketer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at people like, to give you an example, I know Russell Brunson's a horrible introvert, and, outside of what you see of him, even worse than him is Frank Kern, who apparently, the way I heard, if he has to be, face to face, he's either, it kills him. Like, if he doesn't talk to you on computer, he's probably not talking to you.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
a lot of us,
So
I don't know if it's we become that or that's just why we end up here.
absolutely, I think you're an introvert yourself too,
For the most
right?
part. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
leave my house
So
much.
yeah, yeah,
But yeah, that's on. I think honestly, the timing probably helped you a lot too, man. Everybody knows that right now is probably the best time to get
oh, you bet,
information out.
you bet.
So
It was the time of the lockdown where I think almost the entire world was on lockdown for that
yeah,
matter.
yeah,
That was the peak.
it was funny. I remember everybody complaining about it. It's like, I can't go to work, and I'm like, yes, yes. I
I
mean,
know.
not at the virus, that wasn't what it was about. But I didn't mind the fact that, because in all honesty, and my personal journey, that really was kind of, it was like the shove over the edge, like, here, figure out how to build your glider as you fall, kind of thing. And that was, that lockdown was basically it. And that was when everything changed for me too. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you really nailed that point. I think there were a few things that really worked in my favor. The timing of the summit was probably perfect because of the entire world being on the lockdown. People probably had more time than what they probably would have had
mhm.
for giving out to someone like me who was a nobody in the space of internet marketing at that point. What I was so. Yeah, you were absolutely right when you said that the timing probably was right.
Yeah, it was definitely, I mean, you, not to say that one versus the other there, but I mean, honestly, I think you had a real good stack of things going in your favor with the timing of your idea. So
Yeah,
that was great. But uh
yeah,
yeah, I know, when you were talking a minute ago about like my presentation and all that. Yeah, that was actually the first time I've presented that,
yeah. I know
which
because I followed you very closely. I know you never put out a content where you talked about copy mistakes for sure. So I was super confident that this was something that was coming out for the first time.
Yep, that was actually the goal with doing it there. I wanted it to be the most valuable and something, most people don't consider. Actually, speaking of, content and copywriting, one of the goals that I've had, I just haven't decided when, how, or all of that. Too busy with doing, other work. But that's what the podcasting is going to become, which you and I have talked about that before.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
most of my content is going to start to go towards copywriting.
True,
Um,
true.
which is pretty cool. I had thought not so much about a summit, but I mean, the point you brought up on it about the fact that, creating yourself as an expert, being the reporter, about doing similar, but not so much, not as grand of a scale as a summit, but just based around copywriting.
Yeah. See,
So
in fact, initially when I planned it, as I mentioned, I didn't had plan any beyond 10, 12 people.
yeah,
That was probably my idea because I had no clue. I had no experience of doing a virtual summit before, apart from watching a couple of virtual summits like 30days.com or the affiliate bootcamp. I didn't even know what would it take to set up a entire virtual summit in the back end. But today it is probably like the I think this might be my biggest project of my life. You
right,
know,
right.
the
At least
amount
for
of
now.
time, the amount of resources, the amount of obstacles, the amount of pain, the amount of happiness. It was this is like a mixed bag of reactions that I have gone through in the last 90 days. But look at the other side of it. Apart from the amount of time each of those speakers have also given me by coming on the summit and presenting some wonderful stuff, they have given out bonuses which are truly probably they have only given out for people who have been following them in their tribe. You know,
Hmm.
some of the bonuses are, I think if someone has to buy Impact Marketing Summit, maybe I would have actually bought it only for the bonuses.
Right on.
That's the kind of bonuses that are out there. When people have given, people like David Valdi, he given out
Mhm.
his entire empathy sales mastery, which he sold it for almost 1997.
Oh,
So
nice.
those are some of the things that are out there. So if it was like any other summit that people were going on, I think it would have not probably, I think everyone said that they probably saw something in this virtual summit, something that they believe that it will work for me, work for them. So all in all, I think it's been a wonderful experience, probably one of the best experiences I would probably cherish in my life.
That's awesome, man. It's great to see your first product, that sort of a connection to it. So speaking about these bonuses, man, what's couple more, you want to share a couple more of them, the great, you know the
Oh, so
bonuses?
Anthony Ambris, as I mentioned, the guy who helps people like Dan Henry, Neil Patel, Spencer Meekum, he helped their YouTube channel go more than the $100,000 subscriber mark. He shared his 1 hour YouTube framework that I think everyone should follow if you're serious about um, doing YouTube, setting up videos and doing all that stuff to become a YouTube celebrity. He shared his 1 hour framework, step by step, what you should do while you are shooting your video, what kind of start it should have, what kind of intro it should have, when you should ask for a subscribe call of action, when you should ask them to comment something on your YouTube video, what kind of keywords that should go into your title, what kind of things should go into your description. And I think every single minute of the details that is really required for your videos to rank the way you want them to be ranked, he shared that as a giveaway, as a part of the bonus. And there's
Nice.
not even an opt-in, by the way. It's not even
Hmm.
opt-in, so as I mentioned about David's bonus about his empathy sales mastery, that he sold it for $1997, just like about 3-4 months back, that
Yeah.
he's giving out as a summit. If I don't talk about the kind of bonus you and people like Reem and Jason Wright gave out, that will be a crime. You are basically giving out your time, which is probably like the biggest resource anyone can give out for free. You are giving out your time for 45 minutes to do a copy audit of any funnel that probably people want to get vetted by you, right?
Hmm.
Jason is giving out his basically a coaching call, a discovery call, where he's going to go through their entire digital marketing strategy. And for the kind of guy he is, who built almost more than 250 funnels, runs intentionally inspirational as a company, he is giving out 30 minutes of his time as a discovery call for people who want to jump on a call and see where they are with their digital marketing strategy, because that was his topic of the presentation in the summit as well.
Hmm.
Reem Karbat is giving away 45 minutes of her time. So there are, so if someone is throwing away something for the sake of an opt-in, it can still be understood. But when people are giving out their time as a bonus, that's something special,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
So, and each of you, I know, Reem Karbat actually charges about $1,500 for the kind of time that she's spending. You spend about $500-$600 for the amount of time that you are spending. I know Jason Wright spends about $600-$700 for his 1 hour of consulting, and this time is being given away for free. So people who are getting on the summit, I think, apart from the value that they are anyways getting from all the speaker presentations, the bonuses are like not like merely bonus, but they are like super stuff that people probably should really take and make use of it. There are like 20 bonuses. Of the 34 speakers, would you believe, Greg, there are 20 bonuses?
That is awesome, man. That's
And I, in fact, if you go to impactmarketingsummit.com, that's what is the website, you would see that the value of the bonuses, and the value of the summit, and the Facebook group that is only going to be members only, it's valued at $16,518.
nice.
So that's basically how the whole summit has turned out to be.
Right on, man. I know the bonuses alone, just from what I've heard, are they're insane. Like 20 bonuses. Imagine how long after the summit, once you've gotten through all of that content, how long and how far into your business those bonuses alone could get you.
In fact, when people started giving those bonuses, as I told you, right, one of the best thing that happens is that apart from being a host of the summit itself, I'm a marketer. Gabe Schillinger, who is a Two-Comma Club guy,
Mhm.
who was one of, I think you attended his speech in Funnel Hacking Live
Yeah,
2019, right?
he
Not
was actually on the
2020.
podcast. It was this past
Oh,
year.
he was.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
on here too.
I'm so sorry. You are the
All
one
right.
who actually referred. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry. I'm so sorry.
that's all right.
Thanks for recommending Gabe Schillinger. Thank you again. So he talked about contest launch secrets, and one of the best giveaways that he did as a part of the bonuses of Impact Marketing Summit was his 1 day Instagram giveaway strategy.
Hmm.
Right. So there are tons of things like this which are like you just can't miss. All I can say is you just can't miss.
Right
Even if you
on,
don't
man.
want to, even if you don't want to buy Impact Marketing Summit for the 35 presentations, you should just buy it for the bonuses themselves.
Right on. There
I'm
you go.
I'm
There's a
shameless.
pitch
I'm just
for it.
selling it because as a marketer, I saw what is there in the bonuses. So if anything that you have to spend money on, that is on the bonuses.
Right on. All right, man. Well, it sounds like you've got a real good summit and setup and presentation all ready to
Absolutely,
go.
I
So
couldn't
when
have
does
asked for any better.
it launch?
It's already launched. You can go to impactmarketingsummit.com.
All right, on. Cool deal. All right, man. Well, hey, it's been awesome to have you on and to get to talk about this summit a little more in detail. We've both been so busy. There was things I was actually going to ask about it, but I didn't want to distract you, and I had my own stuff going on. So it was real good to get to connect with you.
Oh, I was so happy. I'll confess that I was really happy when you asked me if we should do another episode. And thank you so much for thinking of this because it's been first thing. It's been a really long time. We are talking only after our summit recording happened, but I think we should do a lot of these sessions, just sharing our experiences, just sharing our journey. I think that by itself will be a lot of learning for people who probably are trying to kind of looking to start their entrepreneurial journey, trying to, if some of the people are already on the fence. So this probably will give them a world of confidence that there is things like this that can still be done, and they can still do it. So they should just do a lot of other episodes going forward. And I'm always open to coming on your podcast any given day.
Right on, man. Yeah, like I said, you're always welcome to come on. I've actually it's been slow. The podcasting has slowed down a little bit with everything that's been going on because I've between my projects and some of
I
the
know,
stuff I've
I know,
started. But
I know, I know.
it
I,
always welcome to come on, man. I think every time you come on would
absolutely,
definitely benefit people who listen. So
absolutely, absolutely. So thank you so much once again, Greg. And I hope people who are listening to this right now, um, virtual summits are the thing. So you should just do it. Forget it, whether it is with me, whether it is with anyone else. But if you are in a niche, you have a product or a service, you want to become an authority in your niche, virtual summits is the way to go. And with the world currently going through COVID, and absolutely with no clue of when this is going to leave the earth, people are going to be more online than they were ever before. So if you ever want to reach to the more of your audience, they're all now congregating online in some of the other platforms. So you should just go do one virtual summit, see the results for yourself, come back and thank me later. Thank you so much.